Hello and welcome. My name is Enrico Simonetti from Naonis. On this video we are going to look at a high-level integration between a CRM system, a customer relationship management system, and an accounting and invoicing software. The high-level use case is our salespeople are creating quotes or invoices into a CRM system, and we want that information to flow seamlessly into our accounting and invoicing system. As you can see from the arrows there, we have the arrow number 1 that moves information from the CRM system into the accounting and invoicing. And then there is an arrow number 2 that moves data from the accounting and invoicing software back to the CRM, normally to store reference data into the CRM so that you know which records have been synchronized. Now we're going to go a little bit deeper and look at another diagram where we have the customer relationship management on the top left and the accounting and invoicing software on the top right. At the bottom, we have the integration platform as a service. As you can see, there are double arrows between the integration platform as a service, the iPaaS platform, and the CRM, and the double arrows as well between the iPaaS platform and the accounting and invoicing. And the reason for that is really the iPaaS platform sits in the middle and retrieves and pushes information from both systems. So let's go back in the use case for a second. We have the salesperson creating an invoice or a quote into the CRM system, and then that invoice is marked for synchronization into the accounting software. Now what the iPaaS platform does is goes and checks every 24 hours, every 12 hours, whatever the requirement is from the customer point of view, and checks if there are records to be synchronized from the CRM into the accounting software. If there are, the records are pushed into the accounting software. There might be cases where you have to create a matching account that is related to the invoice or update it accordingly, and then get the response back and store it into the CRM system. As I was saying before, to get a reference to the original record. For example, you might want to store the invoice ID from the accounting software into the CRM, and even the URL of the accounting software record into the CRM, so that the salesperson can actually open the same record and approve it for sending to the customer automatically. Now let's go even one more level deeper to understand more about the full end-to-end process. With this diagram, you can see that we chose two products, SmartSuite as the CRM system, and then we have Xero as the invoicing system. On the left-hand side, we can see that there are the actors, so the people or systems that interact with this process. The first one is the user in our CRM application, which is SmartSuite. The second one is the iPaaS platform. The third one is the CRM application, which is SmartSuite. And the last one is the accounting software, which is Xero in our case. Now we start on the process journey, and we see that invoices are marked for processing by the salesperson into the CRM application. Now the user might need the invoice synchronized immediately because they need to send it to the person immediately. Or as a company policy, maybe the invoices are created every 24 hours during the night, and in the morning they're ready for the accounting department to look over and approve, or for the salesperson to look over. Now, depending on the use case, there could be differences. In this case, both the options are available, where we allow the users to trigger the synchronization manually if they need an invoice immediately, or we wait 24 hours for the generation of the invoice. Now, the next step is for the system to request the queued invoice and their line items, and the CRM system will return that information back to the iPaaS platform. Then subsequently the system requests the account information from the application. So when you create an invoice, you also have a related account, normally a company you are selling that service or product to. And that information is returned. Now, we need to do a second check. We need to check for the same account into the accounting software to verify if there is already an existing account matching or not, which in Xero, they are called contacts. And then based on that, the integration will behave differently for contact creation in Xero or contact updates if the information needs to be updated. Now, if the contact has been created in Xero, there is one more step that we need to do, which is the third last blue box from the right, where the system is updated so that the reference to the record of the accounting software is stored into the CRM application. So they are connected from that point onwards. And for the next update, they know exactly which record to update instead of completing a lookup. And after that, all we need to do, we have all the information we need. We know that the account is present in the accounting software already because we had updated it or created it. And we have the invoice and we have all the line items of the invoice. So we are ready to create an invoice draft into the accounting software and relate it to the matching contact. Now, the last step that we need to do is store some information back into the CRM. And normally, what I would suggest to store is the actual ID of the record in SmartSuite, of the record matching in Xero, so that in SmartSuite you have the reference back to the accounting software record, and then some other information that might be useful for the seller or the accountant as well. So we could store the invoice number, for example, so that the seller knows which one is the invoice number, and even the URL of the record of the invoice, so that the seller can actually open that URL immediately and approve it and send it to the customer right away. Now we can see on the first row, there is a big line that says gain in productivity and data accuracy through integration and automation. So all those steps that are below that line are actually completed automatically by the system in a real-time and immediate manner. So that's all the time saving for every single invoice that otherwise if you had this process completed manually by the salesperson or by the accounting department, someone would have to do all those checks of information, confirm that the line items are correct, confirm that the pricing is correct, the description of the product is correct, the contacts exist and the contacts are up to date, and if not, update that or create it, and then finally create the invoice and let the salesperson know that the URL of the record is there to be approved, etc., etc. So that's the big gain in productivity that you would get out of implementing a solution such as this type of integration between a CRM system and an invoicing software like SmartSuite and Xero. That's all for this video. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it. And feel free to reach out on naonis.tech if you have any questions or if you would like our help on implementing a process like this for your business. Thank you.